Have you ever felt like progress was too slow? Like no matter how hard you worked, the mountain ahead of you only seemed to grow taller? We live in a world obsessed with overnight success stories, where it feels like if we don't reach the top instantly, we're already behind. But here's the truth, greatness isn't built in a single leap. It's built in countless small steps, taken day after day, even when nobody is watching. Today, I want to share with you why those tiny actions you take daily matter more than you think, and why they could be the very thing that changes your life forever. Round pushpin. Let's begin with the story of Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Round pushpin. In 1953, they became the first climbers confirmed to reach the summit of Mount Everest. To the outside world, it looked like a single triumphant moment of victory. But what most people forget is that it took weeks of climbing, setting up camp after camp, moving a few hundred feet at a time, then retreating back down the mountain to acclimatize. Each step was slow, deliberate, exhausting, but necessary. They didn't conquer Everest in a single burst of strength. They conquered it by breaking the impossible into thousands of small, manageable steps. And that's exactly how progress works in life. Round pushpin. Consider the story of Vincent van Gogh. Round pushpin. Today, his paintings are priceless, but in his lifetime, he was almost completely unknown. He created more than 2,000 works of art in just over a decade, sometimes painting multiple canvases in a single day. Most were ignored, dismissed, or ridiculed. But Van Gogh never stopped painting, brushstroke after brushstroke, day after day. Though he never lived to see his recognition, his relentless commitment to small acts of creation laid the foundation for one of the most celebrated legacies in art. His story reminds us that consistency often matters more than immediate validation. Round pushpin. Think about Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. Round pushpin. At 65 years old, most people would consider retirement. Instead, Sanders started traveling from town to town, carrying nothing but his fried chicken recipe, trying to convince restaurants to partner with him. He was rejected over 1,000 times before finding his first yes. That yes turned into one of the most successful franchises in the world. But none of it happened overnight. It was built through persistence, through knocking on one more door each time the last one closed. Round pushpin. Let's shift to the world of science. Round pushpin. Marie Curie, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the only person to win in 2 different sciences, didn't stumble upon her discoveries in a moment of luck. Her work with radioactivity was the result of years of painstaking experiments, many of which failed or yielded no results at all. She spent countless hours in makeshift laboratories, stirring solutions, recording numbers, and chipping away at what seemed like invisible progress. Yet each small discovery built upon the last, until eventually, the breakthroughs came that changed science forever. Round pushpin. The pattern is clear: greatness comes from accumulation. Round pushpin. It comes from the willingness to embrace the mundane, the repetitive, the unglamorous steps that eventually lead to transformation. Now, let's talk about the world of sports again. Round pushpin. Take Eliud Kipchoge, the Kenyan marathon runner often considered the greatest of all time. In 2019, he became the first person to run a marathon in under 2 hours. The achievement was groundbreaking, but it wasn't magic. Kipchoge's success came from years of disciplined training, logging hundreds of kilometers every week, often on dusty rural roads with no cameras or cheering crowds. Every stride in training was a deposit into his future success. By the time he broke that barrier, he had already proven the truth: consistency, not bursts of effort, is what makes history. Round pushpin. Consider also the story of Florence Nightingale. Round pushpin. Known as the founder of modern nursing, she didn't transform healthcare with one grand gesture. Instead, she made small but revolutionary improvements in hygiene, sanitation, and patient care, step by step, during the Crimean War. Simple actions like washing hands and ensuring proper ventilation drastically reduced death rates. What looked like small details were actually life-saving measures. Her persistence in implementing these practices laid the foundation for healthcare systems we rely on today. Round pushpin. Even in business, the principle holds. Round pushpin. Jeff Bezos didn't create Amazon as the empire it is today. He started by selling books online, one order at a time, out of his garage. He packed boxes himself, drove them to the post office, and reinvested every dollar he made. Those small, repetitive actions built momentum. Over time, books turned into everything. And everything turned into one of the largest companies in the world. Round pushpin. Or think about Malala Yousafzai. Round pushpin. Before she became a global symbol for education and the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate, she was simply a young girl writing blog posts under a pseudonym, sharing her experiences living under Taliban rule in Pakistan. Each entry was small, just words on a page. But those words carried power, and one step at a time, they ignited a global movement. The science behind this is clear. Round pushpin. Psychologists call it the compound effect. Just as money grows when invested consistently, effort compounds over time. Every small action might feel insignificant in the moment, but together, they create unstoppable momentum. Tiny habits like reading 10 pages a day, exercising for 15 minutes, or practicing a skill for half an hour may not transform you overnight. But compound those actions over months and years, and the results will look like miracles to those who didn't see the work behind the scenes. Round pushpin. The Japanese philosophy of Kaizen captures this beautifully. Round pushpin. It's the idea of continuous improvement through small, incremental changes. Instead of demanding radical overnight transformations, Kaizen teaches us to focus on progress that feels almost too small to matter. Because when you add up thousands of those small improvements, they become extraordinary. Round pushpin. Think about it like this: a plane that shifts its course by just 1 degree will land in an entirely different destination after a long flight. Round pushpin. The same is true in life. Small changes, multiplied over time, can completely alter your direction. Round pushpin. But here's the challenge: small steps don't feel glamorous. Round pushpin. They don't make headlines. Nobody applauds you for choosing to read instead of scrolling your phone, or for waking up 30 minutes earlier, or for saving a little money each week. And yet, those are the moments that decide your future. Round pushpin. History is full of people who embraced the power of small steps. Round pushpin. Rosa Parks didn't start a revolution by giving a speech, she did it by refusing to give up her bus seat. That one small act of defiance sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and became a turning point in the civil rights movement. Round pushpin. Or consider the Wright brothers. Round pushpin. They didn't invent modern aviation in a single test flight. They spent years building gliders, making adjustments, and studying wind patterns. Their overnight success was actually the result of thousands of hours of trial and error, of tiny improvements that eventually allowed them to fly. Round pushpin. The truth is, the path to any goal will feel slow. Round pushpin. It will feel like you're not moving fast enough. But progress is rarely dramatic. It's steady. And that steadiness is exactly what makes it unstoppable. So let me ask you this: what small step can you take today? Not a giant leap, not a dramatic gesture, but a simple, repeatable action that moves you forward. Because every great story you've ever heard started with something small. Round pushpin. Remember this: you don't need to climb the entire mountain today. Round pushpin. You just need to take the next step. And then the one after that. Over time, those steps will take you further than you ever imagined. Your greatness isn't waiting in the distance, it's being built in this very moment, one small step at a time. The question is, are you willing to take it?